Today in our first show for 2003, it's all games and it's all good. We caught up with industry players at E3 and got a good look at what's in store for this year. We'll be bringing you regular reports over the series, plus news, reviews, and we've got more games than you can poke a joystick at. So unplug, sit back and tune in to Australia's only computer and video game show, Control Freaks. E3, the world's largest interactive entertainment event, was held in Los Angeles last month. More than 62,000 industry professionals from more than 80 countries gathered at the Los Angeles Convention Center for the 9th annual Electronic Entertainment Expo. Over 400 exhibitors put their best wares on display, from the world's biggest players to independent and start-up operations. As a benchmark test for new titles, publishers put on a huge show to attract the games industry to their new releases. Australia's game industry was well represented, with over 20 companies attending. We'll give you the full update later in the show.
The big news story to hit the streets this month is the battle about to be waged in the handheld market. Just as Nintendo is looking over its shoulder at Nokia's N-Gage, Sony has announced plans to produce the PSP,
which is the PlayStation portable device that will not only play games, that will play DVD movies, will have compatibility with memory stick, and will really be another device that is portable that allows you many, many different entertainment applications, including wireless capability.
Nintendo have a huge head start though, with millions of Game Boys sold worldwide. Nokia's unit won't be available in Oz until later this year, and Sony's PSP isn't due to hit the shelves until around Christmas 2004.
Infogrames, publishers of some huge games including V-Rally and Alone in the Dark, has undergone a facelift.
Atari brand, as you are aware, is synonymous with games and entertainment.
Atari.
It's up there with the great brands in this business.
Control Freaks worldwide will recognise the brand of the console that brought gaming to an entire generation.
Metroid Prime has landed on the GameCube and has to be seen to be believed. Bounty hunter Samus returns slicker than ever in this 3D first-person adventure shooter. From the moment Samus lands on Talon 4, she's plunged into a huge and highly detailed environment. With particle effects like rain droplets appearing on her visor to heat haze rising from her gun, her surroundings seem to react with every movement, creating an intense sense of atmosphere as Samus travels through the extremely well-designed levels. Best of all, there are no loading screens, which means seamless transitions between areas. Samus has a powerful array of weapons at her disposal: wave, ice and plasma beams, missiles and of course her trademark Morph Ball. While it may be frustrating and take some time getting a grip on the lock and spin combat setup, when mastered, the controls handle with speed and precision in battle. Exploration is the key to the game, with vast regions to investigate. Although some backtracking is required, you'll normally be rewarded with a new item or power-up, and entry to previously inaccessible areas. Visors are used to deliver information that is vital for solving puzzles, defeating bosses and gathering planet history. In Total Darkness, the thermal visor reveals hidden enemies, while from behind a wall, the X-ray visor shows all. Our tip: scan everything. Samus has lost none of her charm in the transition from her humble 2D side-scrolling beginnings to this 3D graphical delight. While staying true to Metroid's heritage, Retro Studios have delivered an action-packed adventure that will have you deciphering many secrets for hours of extended play above and beyond the battles.
This preview is brought to you by Nintendo.
The new Game Boy player from Nintendo connects to your GameCube console and allows players to enjoy more than 1,000 Game Boy games on their home TV. The Game Boy player, less than an inch thick, acts as a base for your Nintendo GameCube. Insert your Game Boy cartridge in the slot and use the Nintendo GameCube controller to do the rest. The Game Boy player will launch on June 20th and will come bundled free with the Nintendo GameCube, or as a standalone product for just $99.95. Still to come on Control Freaks, a sticky-fingered raccoon and our first report from E3 in LA.
Control Freaks!
sending Australia's worst drivers into peak hour traffic.
I can't do this. I don't want you in the car with me. I can't turn right.
$2,000 worth of fines.
And that was just in one suburb. Watch out for Australia's worst driver tonight.
Making a roast dinner tonight. Impress the Outlands. Just doing the veggies. Won't be long.
I'll help.
No, you won't. Bit of rosemary. Garlic.
I insist.
No, I insist. Voila. This is delightful.
And all out of a box.
New Bird's Eye Oven Roast. Delicious roast veggies in just 30 minutes.
I got the call at 5 o'clock. It was another missing biscuit case. All the bickies were gone. The question was, who done it? Who ate all the bickies? Was it the hotshot skateboarder? The dear old granddad? The cute-looking baby? The tough construction worker? Or even our very own guide? It was no mystery. Everybody likes Guide biscuits. So look out for Guides selling biscuits in your local area. Buy some today before they're all gone.
Take the fresh, wholesome taste of peanuts. Thin, delicate fingers of crisp wafer. The irresistible temptation of chewy caramel. The crunchy goodness of Rice Crisps, all generously encased in rich Cadbury chocolate. And you've got yourself one pretty big, ugly-looking mouthful, really. Cadbury Picnic. Deliciously ugly.
Don't miss Harvey Norman's huge 3-day sale. We're drastically cutting prices on furniture, bedding, electrical, computers, floor coverings, and much more. We've broken the price barrier on a DVD recorder. With this Panasonic model, it's $500 off at $999. Get organised with a Palm's Eye. They're walking out the door at an amazing $199. Save $100 on a Seiko Encanto espresso machine with grinder at $899. All this and much more. 3 big days this Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Scuttling through the shadows, creeping past guards, scaling a drain pipe. Is it a mouse? Is it a cat? No. It's a raccoon? In this vivid toon-like adventure, Sly Raccoon, apprentice jewel thief extraordinaire, must track down the fiendish five to steal back a treasured family heirloom, the Thievius Raccoonus, an ancient guide to stealing stuff. In the tradition of the generations before him, he must learn to harness the secret skills of a master thief, including using his trusty cane to grab, hang, and swing on objects. Not alone in his endeavour, Sly is aided by his oddball crew of Bentley the Turtle and Murray the Clumsy Hippo.
All my calculations led me to believe you had failed to knock out that generator.
It is Bentley who provides young Sly with his techno equipment, including the signal repeaters and the binocucom, which scans his mission area and receives intelligence reports. Sly's world is full of depth and texture with innovative stealth play. Levels are full of platform hopping, rope climbing and wall sneaking fun. But don't slip, as there is rarely a second chance to escape the clutches of a bitter end. With limited extra lives available, you'll really have to learn to sneak to survive. With such a wonderful world created for the eye to see, the game essentially follows a simple course, which is channeled in the right direction without much thought required. Slick, sleek, and ready to steal you away, Sly Raccoon immerses you into the world of a master thief in this light-hearted and entertaining third-person game for all members of the family.
Pokemon fans, grab your Pokédex. It's time for another adventure. The Pokemon phenomenon continues with Ruby and Sapphire, the latest two gems to evolve from the popular Nintendo Game Boy series. You must capture Pokemon, stop the bad guys from destroying the world, beat all the gym leaders, and of course, battle the Elite Four. Experienced Pokemon gamers will recognise the familiar RPG style of play, including the tedious question and answer process for regular tasks, which can be monotonous. This is definitely eclipsed by the addition of exciting 2-on-2 battles and a huge cast of characters. In fact, there's over 200 Pokemon, from the cute to the completely bizarre. So the challenge to catch them all has definitely been thrown down. Playable on many levels, from the beginner just exploring and capturing Pokemon to the wannabe Pokemon masters who like to push their skills to the limit. Our score for these Game Boy titles, 4 stars.
Hi there, welcome to Sports Center. I'm Dan Patrick. Plenty of good stuff to get to on the program tonight, but first, our top story of the day. Sega Sports, the authority in sports video gaming, has drafted ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, as a key player to boost its critically acclaimed Sega Sports franchises to a higher level in order to score with gamers. Let's have a look, shall we? First to the NFL, and the Patriots, the Cinderella story of last year, took everyone by surprise. They will have the bullseye on them this year.
Oh, check out these moves. Oh, that's gotta hurt. What a hit! Yeah! Unbelievable! Oh! Up the middle and cut! What a smash! Oh, that's how you do it. Yes! Another painful stop. Yes! Verlander again with the stop.
This is NFL 2K3 on ESPN.
The Control Freaks PC Gaming Update, brought to you by the new 3 GHz Intel Pentium 4 processor with hyper-threading technology.
What's the best machine for playing video games? PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube? All are fine examples of plug-and-play devices designed to work on your TV with no fuss and limited technical knowledge. But if you really want to be on the leading edge of video gaming technology, there is only one option, the PC. In terms of pure processing power, nothing comes close. The CPU of an Xbox runs at an almost respectable 733 MHz, while the PS2 chugs along at just 300. Today, a standard PC runs at an astonishing 2.2 GHz. In terms of memory and graphical grunt, all consoles do okay until compared with PCs that commonly run with 128 meg of RAM plus video memory. Developers continue to pump out some of their best titles on PC, and playing online is far more accessible. Sure, a PC will cost you around $1,000, but at least it's upgradable and it does have other uses apart from playing games, although we're not quite sure what they are.
The Control Freaks PC Gaming Update, brought to you by the new 3 GHz Intel Pentium 4 processor with hyper-threading technology.
Next on Control Freaks, E3 2003 and a sneak peek at this year's new releases.
Control Freaks.
Wedding bells are just around the corner.
Wow, it's going to be the most romantic day of your life.
But when a surprise visitor shows up...
These are for you.
Will she have second thoughts?
You're not thinking about backing out, are you?
Home and Away, Monday at 7.
In 30 years of teaching, Peter Naylor has cared for thousands of our kids. Mr. Naylor helped Nick with his reading. And he introduced Sue to biology. He gave Jim detention for smoking, but he also taught him geometry. There's a teacher shortage in our public schools. We need more resources and the right people for the next generation.
Authorised M. Blewett, Australian Education Union, Melbourne.
I don't want to work in an office or even in a city. But I do want a career. That's why I'm here on a Golden Circle Kids Start Farm. And there are young people like me all around Australia getting serious training on real working farms. There's a lot to learn. And who better to learn it from than a real farmer? You don't always get it right, but most of the time you do, and it's a great feeling. Working outdoors on a farm is a dream come true. It's hard work, but I love it. This is the start of my career. This is my office.
In the chill, chill, chill of the fridge door, Goulburn Valley's there. Just open the door and you'll come back for more. Goulburn Valley's there. Just
Don't miss Harvey Norman's huge 3-day sale. We're drastically cutting prices on furniture, bedding, electrical computers, floor coverings and much more. Save $60 and pay just $99 for a remote-controlled 2-channel DVD player. This Olympus C150 2-megapixel digital camera is hot, hot, hot at $249. Save $100 on an LG 303-litre deluxe multi-flow frost-free refrigerator at $699. All this and much more. 3 big days this Saturday, Sunday and Monday at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Today on Discover, it's the spectacular Otways. Elise May visits a precarious volcanic lake. There's a visit to an imaginative cobbler. And a Nook gets into a sticky situation. Discover 5:30 today on 7.
Acclaim's newest hero is about to flex his claws on the PS2. Vex, an elf-like boy with attitude, must track down and confront the evil shadow wraith, Dark Yabu, and avenge his grandfather's death. Bestowed with a set of razor-sharp war talons, Vex is the last hope his people have for freedom. Via the central hub, he travels through everything from tree villages and mysterious caves to deserts and underwater cities. Along the way, he must face a range of nasty creatures in the 9 colour-filled levels. Vex's ancient war talons allow him to climb, slash, jump high, juggle and shoot powerful energy blasts. Apart from power-ups gained through juggling enemies, Vex receives no additional moves or weapons to add to his repertoire. Unique level design, loads of puzzles and heaps of hidden items will have you jumping madly for hours as Vex makes his way through this truly gigantic adventure. Looking past the repetitive sound effects, the slightly clumsy camera angles and the odd area that's just a little too dark, Vex redeems itself with colourful graphics, fluid animation, spot-on reflections and well-executed day-night effects. While entertaining, there's nothing particularly new here in terms of game style. This is good action adventure with excellent level size and design. And if it's platforming you love, then Vex has enough challenges to claw its way to the top of your game pile.
E3 2003 is over, but the goods on show will be talked about for many months to come. We thought we'd give you a roundup of the highlights of the world's biggest computer and video games expo. It's not until you get there that you realise the enormity of this expo. Running for 3 days, one person would be hard-pressed to see everything. E3 is the industry's tool to judge market response, a sneak peek at where computer and video games are heading over the next 12 months. Innovation always gets our attention, but with so many sequels and franchises filling the floor, they were pretty hard to find. Sony's iToy would have to take the cake for a unique approach to gaming. A truly physical interactive experience, iToy uses a camera attached to your PS2, which places you inside the game. Using some very sophisticated tracking software, you use your arms to play while looking at yourself inside the game on your TV. Laser golf also drew good crowds, with what looks like the closest thing yet to playing golf in your lounge room. Developed here in Australia, laser golf had its first public showing at E3, and the response has all been good. Sequels were definitely the favourites this year. publishers have sunk millions of dollars into their most popular franchises. Halo 2 was the talk of the show, even without a playable demo. Half-Life, Soul Calibur and Doom all racking up big-budget sequel status. Of course, it wouldn't be E3 without the stands. No expense was spared as companies went all out to build the biggest, loudest, most spectacular crowd magnet. PlayStation, Nintendo and Xbox all put on a big show. Nintendo even had dance bands playing on a circular stage in the centre of their stand. It seems when you can't go bigger, you go louder, with several stands competing for airspace. Loudest stand would have to have been EA, although Konami cranked up the volume in retaliation. A traditional part of E3 is always the colourful characters you run into in your travels.
Control freak!
From babes to the bazaar, there's always a surprise around the corner. Looks like Crash got this guy stuck in his teeth. Announcements are made, press conferences are held, and underneath all the show and spectacle, deals are cut, futures are made, and the business side of gaming goes on behind closed doors. At the end of the day, though, E3 is gaming's chance to show off to the world. And why not, as games have moved past the movies in terms of worldwide sales. Not bad for an industry started in the bedrooms of young programmers 25 years ago.
The Game Trader's retro gamer Flashback. Before PlayStation, GameCube and Xbox, there's a whole history of console gaming. The early 90s were dominated by the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Donkey Kong Country broke new ground on a console that gamers had thought had reached its peak, with stunning visuals for its time, and a character franchise that has been a winner for Nintendo for 2 decades. Donkey Kong made a massive mark on a generation of gamers. And all this from a translation error. Monkey Kong, the original title, just doesn't have the same ring. Still to come, we reload Atari's Enter the Matrix.
Control freaks!
Oscar, and Claude.
They're obedient school dropouts.
They call them the untrainables, but we'll fix that.
In just 14 days.
It's a Harry's Practice special tonight.
Are you empty?
No, we're full.
Okay.
Hello, RACV? Yes, I need some help with my car. I've been in an accident. The car's a mess.
Hello, RACV? My house has been broken into.
RACV, can I help you?
Whatever your reason for calling RACV Insurance, we know you just want your claim handled quickly by someone who really cares about making everything right in your world again.
Thank you.
RACV, we're there for you.
The Legend of Ned Kelly is now showing at the Beacon Southgate. A stunning recreation of a life and its legacy. The most detailed, interactive reconstruction of Australia's most enduring legend. Open 10 to 5, 7 days a week. The Legend of Ned Kelly, proudly supporting Kids in Crisis and the Variety Club, and supported by 7 Melbourne.
Disney on Ice is skating to town this winter with 3 of their wildest adventures. Everyone's favourite Disney jungle characters come to life on the ice, and your kids could stay on the show. Call 1902 552 777 and register your name. Your kids could ride on the Jungle Cruise boat on opening night with Mickey, Minnie, Donald and Goofy. There's also tickets to the gala opening night performance to be won. It's all the excitement and 3 times the fun with Disney on Ice 3 Jungle Adventures.
In 30 years of teaching, Peter Naylor has cared for thousands of our kids. Mr. Naylor helped Nick with his reading. And he introduced Sue to biology. He gave Jim detention for smoking, but he also taught him geometry. There's a teacher shortage in our public schools. We need more resources and the right people for the next generation.
Authorised M. Blewett, Australian Education Union, Melbourne.
In the war to save Zion, what part will you play?
So I play the character of Ghost, who's a Zen Buddhist assassin in Matrix Reloaded and also Matrix Revolutions, which is out November 7. And Ghost is also one of two lead characters in Enter the Matrix, which is the exciting new accompanying video game which parallels the storyline of Matrix Reloaded in the cinemas.
For the record, when I cart your bodies back to Zion, do you prefer cremation or the gardens?
Sparks, her faith in us remains a source of personal inspiration.
Well, I am what I am, and I do what I can.
He's actually part Dalai Lama and part Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's a philosopher, he's a meditator, but he's also the best weapons expert in the whole Matrix universe.
Why do you do that?
Do what?
Check your guns.
You never know.
The Wachowski brothers always conceived Enter the Matrix to be a parallel storyline with Matrix Reloaded, and it actually answers a lot of the questions that are raised in Matrix Reloaded, the movie. So it's a bit like this. If the Matrix is a house, Matrix Reloaded shows you what's happening to Neo, Trinity, Morpheus, and Agent Smith in, say, the bedroom and the study of the house, and Enter the Matrix, the game, follows Ghost, my character, and also Niobe, played by Jada Pinkett Smith, in the living room of the house. So it's a parallel universe happening at exactly the same time. I auditioned for the first Matrix for the role of Tank the Operator, and I didn't get it. So when the second one came around, I was totally pumped up to do a great audition. You know me, Niobe. It's not a choice. It's a way of life. The game was developed by Shiny Entertainment, who are the makers of the game, and it was actually scripted and directed by the Wachowski brothers themselves. And sometimes we'd go from shooting a scene in the movie on one set to going to the set where the game was being filmed in the afternoons. Ghost is back in Matrix Revolutions, so look out. When I'm not jacked into the Matrix, I'm plugged into Control Freaks, Australia's #1 video game show.
We love our GBA SP, and we're not about to part with it for love nor money. Luckily, Nintendo Australia have been kind enough to give us another. So, it's up for grabs, along with a copy of WarioWare Incorporated, a game containing over 200 fast and furious mini-games sure to put your reflexes to the test. To win, email the answer to this question. What colour is the Control Freaks Office GBA SP? Blue, silver or red? We'll post the winner and the answer on the web next week, so good luck. Control Freaks will be back same time next week with the first of our reports on the Australian development community, plus all the latest news and reviews from the big bad world of computer and video games.
Control Freaks.